Did you know that 87% of Americans have some degree of low self-esteem, and that 87% of Americans also have a degree of stress, overwhelm, and anxiety in their daily lives? This is an alarming statistic, and I'm going to show you how low self-esteem, anxiety, overwhelm, and stress are related. I am going to share with you the processes that I have been doing for over 40 years with clients that have over and over again shown positive results. I'm going to show you and tell you about the processes that I do that you can do on your own as well. I'm going to show you how you can transform self-defeating core beliefs into core beliefs that support healthy, happy adult experience. I'm Dr. Wendy Hill, and I am known as the Uncommon Therapist. Uncommon because I do something that most therapists don't do. I take my clients back in time to their high impact moments that set negative core beliefs that set them up for low self-esteem, stress, overwhelm, and anxiety. And I'm going to share with you the processes right now today in this video that transform stress, overwhelm, and anxiety into peace of mind. Watching this video may bring to you an epiphany that will bring about hope and healing. This video is longer than most videos, and most of us have pretty short attention spans, but I encourage you to watch the entire video because the best comes toward the end. And so most of us are suffering from low self-esteem. Now, compromised self-esteem can lead to toxic stress, which is very dangerous. That can lead to illness, addiction, depression, anxiety, and dysfunctional relationships. By facing the problem of low self-esteem and toxic stress, healing can begin to happen, and consequently, peace of mind and a greater sense of well-being. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to just take a deep breath and know that I want you just to be completely honest, know that it's safe here. Be completely honest with yourself, and I want you to count on your fingers every time you say yes to one of these questions. Okay, deep breath. And here we go. Am I a perfectionist or am I critical of myself? Do I have issues with too much or too little control? Do I tend to question myself? Do I tend to deny or trivialize things? This can be a trick question because oftentimes when we're denying, we don't know that we are. Do I sometimes have difficulty saying no? Do I have difficulty accepting a compliment? Am I a people pleaser and often ignore what I need and what I want? Do I let things slide sometimes and push problems under the carpet? Do I stress about time? Do I have difficulty with confrontation? Do I often relive the past upsetting events, thinking about how it could have been different, how I could have been different? Do I often lie in bed thinking about things instead of sleeping? Am I in the grips of some addiction, whether it be your cell phone or coffee or some drug or medication or alcohol? Anything can be an addiction. Do I sometimes wonder if I like myself? Compromised self-esteem can cause you to deal with life's challenges in a way that lead to toxic stress. If you feel like sometimes like this guy right here, well, you're not alone. You're in good company. Compromised self-esteem is normal. It's part of being human. And it doesn't take much to throw us into toxic stress and overwhelm, worrying about climate change, war, lack of sleep, unexpected problems to solve, health issues, sudden life changes, a loved one in a crisis, taking too much on. It doesn't take much. It's part of being human. And I'm going to tell you how you can raise your self-esteem and negotiate through life's challenges and avoid toxic stress. And I want you to bring your passion to your listening here. As I took a picture of this flower, this color of this flower is the color of how passionately I feel about this subject. I have worked for all my career, for over 40 years, with this subject. And I know that the things that I'm going to share with you today transform lives. So I want you to come to this with your own passionate listening. So most therapists or counselors or speakers or self-professed masters talk about stress and self-esteem. It's a very common subject. But even though they have good things to say and often that are helpful, they treat most of the time the symptom, not the underlying cause of whatever is causing the low self-esteem or stress. All of it has to do with your core beliefs. That is what you believe deep down inside of yourself. And I'm going to put in your hand today the answer of how to transform those negative core beliefs into core beliefs that support healthy adult experience. So where do core beliefs originate? Well, I'm going to show you. They originate right here. So imagine that this is you, this innocent face of this baby. It even starts earlier. It can go back into the womb or even past lives where negative self-defeating core beliefs and positive core beliefs are also formed. Children are completely vulnerable. When we're children, we're unwritten books. We take everything literally and we take everything personally. We have no experience from which to make any kind of judgment about what is and what isn't. We just accept what we experience and we interpret everything we experience. To understand and transform your core beliefs, you need to go back to where they originated. And this is called regression, going back in time. So you might think, well, since you can't change the past, why even think about it? Well, by going back, you can change your interpretation of the past, even see the facts of the past differently. And it's all in your subconscious mind. Now, some might think, oh, that's scary, going into the woods, the deep, dark woods of my subconscious mind. That's scary. I don't know what I might find. I don't know what I might feel. What if I find something I don't like or that I don't like myself? But I guarantee you that once you do this, it's not that scary, because what you will find is something wonderful about yourself. Now, in my own personal growth and spiritual journey, I was a seeker down that path and down through, you can see me standing here on this path, walking through the woods of my own unconscious mind. I wanted to know the truth about things. I wanted to know the answer to things. So I had a lot of therapy, and some of the therapy was good, but I got frustrated. Now, when I was in graduate school, I had some mentors, and I want to share with you 3 of these mentors. The one on the left, Milton Erickson, is noted as one of the premier hypnotherapists that brought inner child healing and hypnotherapy to this country. And I was lucky enough to have known him and been trained by him. And he taught me that the imagination is as powerful as reality, that by channeling and using your imagination in the correct way, you can transform how you believe and think about yourself on a very deep level. That's a profound thought. In the middle, Carl Rogers was also one of my professors and took me under his wing. And he taught me that the most important thing that we as humans want to experience and need to experience is unconditional love. And that it is all right for us to be genuine, to reveal ourselves, to realize that our mistakes don't define us, that we are worthy by our natures. What a wonderful thought. And to the right, Carl Jung, who said that you cannot heal anything by treating just the symptom. You have to go to the original cause of the problem. And that these three men with these three profound thoughts helped design and focus the direction of my therapy. I learned to listen to myself. And one day, as I was listening to myself, something profound happened. It was like I was struck by lightning. And this is what happened. This is what I did. I closed my eyes and I imagined that I saw the child that's within me. And this is what I saw. I saw myself as a child. And like being struck by lightning, I was struck with strong feelings of compassion. I fell in love with this child. Look at her face. What's not to love? And if you saw your own child self, you would have the same feeling. I fell in love with her. And I also knew that she did not know how worthy she is. In fact, she had thoughts that she wasn't worthy, that there was only so much love in the world to go around, and that she was opted not to be one of those that was loved. What she needed to experience was the experience of unconditional love. It is the secret to all positive transformation. Address the underlying problem of compromised self-esteem, and you resolve the problem of toxic stress. You can find your true self, peace of mind, be fully loving yourself and loving others. And I'm going today to share with you the secret that I found that transformed that little Wendy's core beliefs into core beliefs that support me in a healthy, loving way as an adult. I'm going to share with you the 5 essential steps of regression to well-being. I'm going to tell you more about the subconscious mind and about core beliefs and high impact moments. And I'm going to share with you how important warrior spirit is to finding your inner child and going back even to a past life. I want you to thrive. I want today's presentation to be the beginning of something wonderful for you. Something that, as a result of what you hear today, will open a door to transforming your life for the better. And you can go to my website if you want to learn more. It's all kinds of things, videos, blog, all kinds of things for you to read, listen to, learn that are free. wendyhill.com. So let's talk about what is a core belief. Well, a core belief is a committed belief accepted as absolute truth deep down in your subconscious mind about who you are, who others are, and what the world outside of yourself is, and what to expect of yourself, others, and your life experience. Well, that's a mouthful, so I'm going to break it down a little bit here. A core belief is a committed belief accepted as absolute truth. That means that if you have a belief that the sky is red, when you look at the sky, that is what you will see. And it won't matter what kind of proof that it's blue, because you will still see it as red. That is how solid a core belief is. It is seen as absolute truth, and it can only be transformed by going back to when and how that core belief was formed. It is deep down in your subconscious mind. That's where it is accessible. Now remember, the subconscious mind is unconscious. So you may, as an adult, say, oh, I know what my core beliefs are. But you won't know until you actually take that journey into your subconscious mind. And it is always about who you are, about who others are, and about what your life is to be, what you experience outside of your life, and what to expect of yourself and others and your life experience. Your core beliefs were formed in this life, starting in the womb to about the age of 7, and most deeply by the age of 4. But core beliefs can be formed before we are even born in a previous existence. And whatever those circumstances were in which you died, those core beliefs then are transformed into your current life at birth. And the circumstances, the people, your parents, the environment in which you're born reflects that core belief, so that whatever you were believing at your death in a previous life then gets repeated emotionally and in reality in your current life. So how powerful are core beliefs? In case you don't believe what I'm telling you how powerful they are, this is how powerful they are. They're burned deep into you. But you can transform your subconscious self-defeating core beliefs. So I'm going to give you the secret today. I'm going to uncork that bottle and open it up so that you can learn and know how these core beliefs, especially the negative ones, can be transformed. So first of all, what is a high impact moment? It's important to understand that. A high impact moment is a singular experience that is accompanied by a strong emotion in which a decision is made and a core belief is formed. So it has 3 elements to it. It is a singular experience, even though it might be a part of a chronic condition, say mom and dad fight every day. But this singular moment in time, where you felt strong emotion, you made a decision about yourself and about others and about life. And that decision then became a core belief. High impact moments can be devastating. You can see by these sweet little faces, these little children are so open and vulnerable. They have not yet learned not to feel. They interpret everything personally and take it within their heart and soul and in their body. And this is who you were at one time. I want to tell you the story of little Sarah, and this is an example of how a core belief can be formed. It doesn't require massive neglect or abuse. So little Sarah is an adult now, but when she was 4 years old, her mother took her to the department store to get her first party dress. Well, little Sarah was just beside herself. She was so excited. She knew that if she had that party dress and she wore it, that she would be like a princess. And for little girls, putting on that beautiful dress and feeling like a princess meant that you are worthy and that you are worthy of love. And so little Sarah knew this intuitively. She didn't have words for it, but she knew that that perfect dress would make her worthy of love. And she was overjoyed. So as they entered the little girl's dress department, Sarah saw that dress. She saw that perfect dress. Oh, mommy, mommy, I want that dress. That's the one I know. I want to try that one on. My mother looked at the price tag and said, okay, sweetheart, no, we're going to look at some of these other dresses. No, mommy, mommy, this is the one. It was pink and had little ribbons, blue and green and yellow. It was so pretty. She knew that if she wore this dress, she would be the princess. And mother said, no, sweetheart, we're going to try on these other dresses. And little Sarah began to cry. And mother said, if you don't stop crying, I'm going to take you out of here and we won't get that dress. You won't get any dress. But little Sarah is only 4 years old and she doesn't know how to stop crying. She doesn't know how to stop feeling. And so mother took her by the hand and took her through the department store and out to the parking lot, to the car. And as this happened, little Sarah felt enormous shame, grief, and embarrassment. And these strong emotions were accompanied by a thought, I'm not worthy of love, and I don't have a voice. And this thought was even barely understood by Sarah herself, accepting that it went deep. And it wouldn't have mattered if mother had taken her back into the store and bought the dress. That core belief had already been established, that she was not worthy of love and that she didn't have a voice. And what happened in Sarah's life then is that she began a pattern of not speaking up. It caused her all kinds of problems at work and in relationships, and a pattern of never being able to feel quite good enough, not loved enough. It was devastating for her. This is the power of a high impact moment and a core belief. Now, your positive and negative core beliefs are affecting you right now, how you're hearing me, what I have to say. And yes, there are positive ones that you have. You wouldn't be here today listening to this. But it's those negative self-defeating ones that have caused you to be in stress and to lower your self-esteem. Now, need to understand that you have two yous inside of you. And you have the adult you and the child you. And this picture on the right is Dr. Wendy looking all confident. Dr. Wendy already knows what she's thinking, and she has certain judgments and opinions about things. She has experience, long experience. But also inside of her and inside of you is this child that is still learning and still doesn't know who she is. And she has her own judgments, her own feelings, her own opinions, her own experiences. And they are still living inside of me and inside of you. So imagine projecting on the right-hand side as you as an adult and you as a child. And I want you to notice the vast difference between these two yous and the fact that that child is still alive and well and affecting you inside of you. You must connect with your inner child in order to change and transform. You must connect also, if necessary, with a past life and the experiences you had there that set core beliefs. So connecting with your inner child and connecting with way in the past, even before birth, opens the door to healing. And this requires what I call warrior spirit. And along with warrior spirit is what I call healthy suffering. Now, this guy climbing this rocky ledge, boy, he has got warrior spirit and he may be afraid, yes. But he certainly isn't comfortable. He's not sitting there watching TV with his feet up. Warrior spirit is the willingness to persevere with determination in spite of fear. So heroes are afraid, but they persevere anyway. And that's what I want you to be thinking about yourself. So going in to the subconscious mind may seem scary at first, but it is worth the effort, because healthy suffering is the discomfort we feel when doing something for a higher cause. And you and your well-being, your self-esteem, your peace of mind is the worthy cause. Your worth. Any discomfort or emotion you may feel going back into your past, into your childhood, your infancy, into the womb, or into a past life. You cannot analyze or intellectualize yourself into a core belief transformation. You have to feel yourself there. So here are the 5 steps that I promised you. The first one is called regression. It's remembering. You need to remember what happened that hurt you in order to change it. So in that regression process, we go back to those high impact moments that set core beliefs. I'll talk more about this in a few minutes. Then the next step then is to understand, and sometimes that happens at the same time. So when I was struck by lightning and I saw my inner child, I remembered how it felt. And I understood that at that time, I thought that maybe I wasn't worthy of love. And that all the patterns of how I acted and felt in my life came from that. So that understanding of what you decided, what the core belief is that came out of that high impact moment, and the patterns of behavior that came out of that decision is the step 2. Step 3 is the one that most people are scared of, even though they may not even be aware of it. It's called acknowledging and expressing your emotions. A couple of weeks ago, I was visiting a doctor and she said, "Oh, well, Wendy, what do you do for a living?" And I told her I do regression. I take people back to the high impact moments that set self-defeating core beliefs, and I help them transform them into core beliefs that support healthy adult experience. And the first thing out of her mouth was, "Oh, I don't want to go there." And I knew exactly what she meant. She didn't want to feel it. But I'm here to tell you that it is safe to do that, and it is necessary, and it also is temporary. The next step then is to communicate to that child that experienced those feelings the truth, the good truth, the truth that they are worthy, that they are safe, that they are loved, that they are innocent, they are forgiven, or whatever it is they need to hear and understand. You heard me say earlier in this presentation that the imagination is as powerful as reality. And this is where your communication with your inner child, using your imagination, can actually transform. Talking to the person that you were in a previous life can transform how you feel inside and how you react. And the final step is to accept it deep down in your mind, your body, and your spirit, because all core beliefs are held within the body, within every cell. And by accepting a wonderful truth in all parts of you, you lock in a positive core belief. I'll talk more about that in a few minutes. So step one, again, is remembering your high impact moments that set your core beliefs. And here is the healthy suffering required. You must be willing to know and feel what really happened from your inner child's perspective. And when this happens, and I've seen this first step, people transform almost immediately beginning. The transformation begins just even doing this first step. It's like being struck by lightning. Step two is understanding what you decided and what patterns of thought, feeling, and behavior you took on as a result. Be willing to learn what decisions you made as a child. You might be asking yourself, am I willing to do these steps? You will then understand why you think, feel, and act in the ways that you do in the present. And the transformation from self-limiting core beliefs deepens. Step three is the one that the doctor was so afraid of, and that so many people are. But that takes warrior spirit and understanding to go forward with. So that's acknowledging and expressing the emotions that trapped your self-defeating core beliefs. It is safe to do that, and it's temporary. By not doing that, you continue on with unhealthy suffering, with a low self-esteem and toxic stress. So why not experience what you felt as a child for a little bit and get it from your body, out of your psyche, and allow a new feeling, a new core belief to sprout. Be willing to acknowledge and express your inner child's emotions. You may cry, scream, or hit a pillow in anger. It's safe to do that now. The emotions that trapped your self-limiting core belief will be released from your body, and the results will be greater well-being and inner peace. Step four is communicating the liberating truth to your inner child. So let's say that I am Sarah's adult self. I might do something like this. Using my imagination, I might close my eyes and I might hold that little Sarah in my arms and I might say, "Hello, sweet girl. I love you, little Sarah, with all of my heart." And what mother did that day was a mistake. If she had known how much it was hurting you, she would not have done that. You are worthy of love and you have a voice. And you can start knowing that and experiencing that and speaking up. So by having this kind of communication with that part of you that took on that negative core belief, begins and deepens that transformation. That communication is imperative. Be willing to do the unaccustomed thing of telling your wounded inner child the wonderful truth. And then you are connecting with your true self. And you are automatically transforming how you think, feel, and act to the shared love and compassion that you feel for that child that's within you. And believe me, it doesn't matter who you are or what you think happened in the past. Ultimately, and deep down in your soul self, you love yourself. And step 5 is accepting that love, that truth in your mind, body, and spirit. And in my workshops, I do a process called Getting a Truth, where the participant has the opportunity to let go of all fear, all doubt, all questioning about the self, and accept and allow in that unconditional love. It is an experience that is spiritual and blissful. If you are willing to surrender and accept in your mind, body, and spirit the wonderful truth, you will have locked in this new core belief that will make you feel safer, loved, worthy, and fully your true self. It doesn't matter what life it happens in, as long as you go to the original event. So let's talk about that process of regression, of remembering right now. So don't have to do it right now, because if you do, you might be struck by lightning like me when you first see, if you haven't met your inner child before. But this is how it's done. Simply you close your eyes. If you're working with me, there might be an induction. And use a current upsetting feeling. That is a trigger. Something is triggering you as a springboard into the past. Ask your mind and your soul self to take you back to a high impact moment that felt like that emotion that you're feeling, that upsetting emotion. And this is what will happen. You will have a memory. An image will appear, or spontaneous thought or emotion, or maybe all of the above. An intuitive hunch, physical sensations, can all this happen at once. Sometimes if you don't see or feel anything, that simply means that you need to wait, that there's some kind of fear or resistance that you need to get through, or that there's something bad that is coming up, that you need additional support. Trust what you perceive, even if it doesn't make sense, and continue persevering with determination. Be the child that you were. See and feel from his or her perspective. You can see by looking at these pictures, like the little girl in the upper right-hand corner may have had the measles, and she might have looked in the mirror and said to herself, I'm not pretty. And for a little girl, that might mean I'm not loved, I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable. And that may have become a core belief that she's carried through her life, forgetting even that incident, but still carrying that feeling and that thought. The little boy on the left with a little lower lip stuck out might have overheard his mother and father arguing and decided in that high impact moment that it was his fault, that something bad about him caused his parents to behave that way. And that even though he doesn't know what it is, that it's his fault. And that core belief can follow you or him through an entire life until such time it is recognized and transformed. See the two children on the lower right, these young people. And you can see in their faces those core beliefs have already, those negative core beliefs already taken hold. Maybe from a past life, maybe from this life, or both. It is only by being the child that you were and seeing and feeling from their perspective that you can come to understand your true core beliefs and then transform them. Scary things happen, but now you are safe to remember because it is in the past. There has been neglect, abuse, unkindness, wars, all kinds of scary things happen in life. Life is difficult for everyone, and especially for children. But it is in the past, and it's safe now to remember. Everything you see will lead you to the experience you need to remember. Be patient, observe, and witness what you see, because what you witness then, you will then witness to that child or person that you were. Seeing from your inner child's or past life perspective will let you know what you decided about yourself and what you are carrying now. And if it's negative, What you told yourself will be a lie. In step 2, you will understand that lie. You will understand the innocence and the beauty of yourself as a child. And you will understand the patterns of behavior that came from it. In step 3, you will acknowledge and express the emotions that you felt. It will feel wonderful to cry, to get angry, to acknowledge the shame or fear or grief. Because in doing so, you know that you're connecting with your authentic self, your genuine self. And that starts to set you free. And there will be something inside of you that will take a deep breath, even in the midst of these upsetting emotions. In some way, it will feel good. In step 4, you will communicate the positive truth to your wounded inner child or person of the past. In step 5, you will accept the wonderful truth in your mind, body, and spirit. I am worthy, I am loved, I am safe, I am forgiven, I am innocent, I am good, I am capable. Whatever it is that lie will be turned around and accepted fully as a wonderful truth. Now, I've shared with you how many of us have experienced and are experiencing compromised self-esteem and how that can lead to toxic stress, very dangerous. And I've shared with you what a core belief is, what high impact moments are, and the importance of warrior spirit and the understanding of healthy suffering and knowing that it is temporary, whereas unhealthy suffering is lifelong. I've introduced you then to the idea of your inner child in past lives and the 5 essential steps to well-being. And here they are once again. I've opened that door to remembering, understanding, expressing and acknowledging, communicating to yourself the truth and accepting it in your mind, body, and spirit. You can free yourself from compromised self-esteem and toxic stress. Don't wait to treat the symptoms of toxic stress. Raise your self-esteem now. You can prevent toxic stress and overwhelm. And take the time and effort to do those 5 steps now. If you're already experiencing toxic stress, here's the tool you can use to combat it. Whenever you feel overly anxious or overwhelmed or upset, it is always, always your inner child that is incarnated in this life, perhaps from a past life, where there was toxic stress. And hold that child that you were and tell him or her that you love them and talk to them. Talk to them about what's happening. I'm going to share with you experience that happened to me. But take a few minutes to talk. I'm going to share with you how I did this. I had an opportunity to do this a couple of years ago. So here's little Wendy, what's not to love, looking at that face. And yours is the same. What's not to love? So innocent and loving. And so I have a hobby. I love to sing. And because of my hobby, one day I was asked to join a competition in the Senior California pageant. Well, little Wendy was very excited because she goes, oh, goody, I get to wear a pretty dress, I get to be a princess, and I get to sing. How much fun is that for a little girl? So we went to the competition, and in rehearsal, we completely blew it. Well, we forgot the lyrics, so we had to stop the music. And little Wendy, the one you see here, went into toxic shame. She was so embarrassed. She felt she was being judged, that the mistake that we made, defined her. And it made her very scared, already scared to go on stage. She already was too scared. Oh, I can't do it. I can't do this. So I knew about this. I knew about these 5 steps. So I took her aside and I put my arms around her. In my imagination, I held her and I said, sweet girl, you are already loved. I love you with all of my heart. And you are worthy. And we're going to, this is not a competition today. We're not here for the competition. We are here for fun. I want you to remember that. And when we go on stage, we're just going to have a good time. This is for fun. You didn't make a mistake that defined you. You're already defined as worthy and lovable. Well, it took me a little while. I had to talk to her. I had to listen to what she had to say. And I had to get her to understand that she could do this. And it didn't matter whether she won or not, as long as she was having fun. And she finally accepted it. So when we went on stage, actual competition, we went on having just a fun, joyous time. And something amazing happened. They called my name. I couldn't believe it because I had let go. And you can see in this picture, this woman on the right saying, Wendy, they called your name, because I didn't actually hear it. And this is me saying, me, I had won. I had won not because my talent was the best, but because I had a belief in myself. And what I really won was not all the things that I'm holding here. What I really won was the understanding and the reinforcement that I could have power in transforming how I felt, how I acted, how I was, how I experienced life. So I want you to imagine a dream that you have about being, how you can be, how you can see yourself or feel or accomplish. And I want you to put a picture of yourself right here, having won. See yourself having accomplished that already. And then reach out to me and tell me about your experience today. Remember, you can go to wendyhill.com. Here is my website. And you can watch videos, you can listen, you can read. There are all kinds of products. There's music, songs that I've written and sung. You deserve to have your best life. You are worthy of it. So I thank you for sharing this with me today. It's a pleasure to be with you and to share with you.